Uh,
I'm
when you
really
said
curious
that,
what
Beena, you need
started
to
the
draw.
drawing. Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you said that Beena, you need to draw,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
you need to do that. And I was feeling so hesitate, so reluctant to do that. And yesterday I said, okay, this idea of drawing like I used to in my childhood is something I think that I need to break this wall, this
Yes.
hesitation.
Yes.
And I bought this, and for 24 hours this box was sitting in my cupboard, and I was like, oh, do this or not, do this or not, do this or not.
Wow.
And just coming before coming here, I was just drawing that, and I was like, and that the
Wow.
moment I grabbed these crayons in my hand, I forgot everything else but
Yes.
just the colors
Yes.
and the paper
Yes.
in my hand.
Yes. The
No,
magic.
even not even the pattern of or idea of drawing. No, nothing.
Yes.
Just simple the color and the paper. That's it.
In other words, pure being.
Mm. Yes,
Pure being. Yes? That's what you were
yes,
engaged in. Just being. No
yes,
agenda, no doing, just being.
I don't want to
Yes,
be there.
technically you were doing drawing, but you were just being. You were just letting it be. You were just being. Yes?
yes,
That's really magical, Beena. We don't need to do anything. We don't have to have all this other stuff. We can just be, and it's enough. And we can do it over and over and over again forever.
yes, yes. I can do that. Now I don't know about future, but right at that moment when I first time start
Yeah,
this
yeah,
crayon, and having my own crayons, having the almost same crayons, and nobody is
brilliant,
around,
brilliant.
and I can do that. I'm sitting in my room is something magical for me.
It makes me. And it was also the other doing was doing things which had, for whatever reason, accumulated some inertia. You know, so when we realized that, hey, you know what, just because there was inertia and this perceived sort of a block to doing them, it's nothing. When you actually do it, it's like, well, what was the inertia again? What was the reason for not getting there? None, right? It's gone now. It's like there wasn't any
Yes,
reason.
yes,
Same thing applies to other
yes,
little things, that have been pending to do, that for whatever reason haven't gotten done. So when you realize that we just kind of create this idea when we don't immediately do things that, oh, somehow there's some reason not to do them. No, it's just you haven't done them yet, and then when you get to chance, you do it. It's very simple. So it's just doing isn't a big deal. In other words, right?
yes, yes.
Very brilliant. All right, Donna, you said you might have to go. Do you still have to go?
Yeah, at 9. I don't know what time it is.
Oh,
It's 10 to 9 now. Okay. I was just gonna start module 5 session 1. Uh, do you want to start now or when you come back?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. I'm just not sure how far we'll get in 10 minutes. Well, 8 minutes. So I'm just keen for the momentum. So maybe we just do when you come back. Yeah. How long are you gonna be gone, Donna?
About an hour.
An hour. Okay. Okay.
okay.
We do when you come back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Brilliant. 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 I love it. I love it. I'm keen. I'm keen. I'm keen. I'm keen. Sorry, it was a long thing that I had to type out and it was important. I needed to send it. So
Mhm.
I didn't see it earlier. So it just came this morning. So, um, all right. Anyway, brilliant. Brilliant. That's really magical. Just the drawing thing. I'm keen,
Sorry.
Beena. I'm sure Donna, you
Hmm.
too. If Beena could take some pics and maybe send them to us in Facebook chat or something, that'd be great. If you don't mind, Beena,
No, of course
we
I
can
will. I
share.
will. I will share. I will share. No
Uh,
problem. No problem.
that'd
I
be
will share
magical. That'd be
because
magical.
this is
Could
something you guys suggested. So
Yes,
okay.
could you draw on the wall, by the way? Was that a possibility
Oh
or
yes,
not?
yes I can. Oh
Oh,
yes, I
fantastic. Oh, good. Oh, good, 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 good. So I've been thinking about cutting my hair and my beard off, by the way. What do you guys think?
Wow.
Donna?
Seriously.
Yeah, seriously. What do you think? I always had short hair most of my life, short beard. This is a recent thing that came about from attunement, so it's the only reason I have it, really. So,
Hmm.
you know, what do you think, Donna?
Okay. Go ahead. Try something. Yeah. Yeah.
Donna, what do you think?
Is that what your attunement says to do?
No, it doesn't at all. That's why it's a free choice. It's kind of either way or the other. That's why I'm asking. I'm just getting perceptions and perspectives, in
Uh-huh.
terms of what you think. I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I don't have any direction on it one way or the other. Just kind of an idea that maybe it's more my idea, I guess, not any particular reason. So, I mean, the only sort of logic here would be from a strategic reason, but I don't know. I can't see it one way. I mean, again, I ask because my perceptions on this. When we don't always perceive ourselves accurately. So I don't know.
That's for damn sure.
What's that?
Oh, nothing.
You said you don't care. Yeah.
No, she says that's what I'm sure that yes. Okay. For me,
Hmm.
it is a good idea to do that because somehow, if we keep something very long, we kind of start relating with that, and kind of identify ourselves with that particular thing. So when we call ourselves, like you call ourselves yourself, as okay, in always want to be in other, so don't just get stuck into this situation also. Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Oh
good to
no,
try something
it's
new.
definitely not something I'm stuck in. That's for sure. And like I said, I had short hair most of my life. I had long hair as a young man. Not from like my mid 20s, more or less, or late 20s. I cut it short. Short where you don't need to comb it.
Wow,
And
so
oh
that's
yeah,
good.
just kept it that short. Well, just that's because it's less energy, and the same with the beard. As soon as you needed to start combing it, or it's cut. I would just cut it shorter. Just
Mm.
because it's very efficient. But it does have a. I mean, the longer hair and the beard, it does have an effect. Like when I do the workshops and stuff, it does have a strategic effect in that regard. So I can't say that it isn't useful. So I
Mhm.
don't know.
Why do you think it's strategic in that regard?
People look at it and they just look at you and they kind of has that, I don't know, I guess but this is what that started this nonsense. I had gotten a bit behind on cutting it, and then I was really encouraged. It's like your wizard look, and it's that. So I got that pressure. And I don't know, just from an image appearance, people relate to it, and they have a preconception that you're connecting to. Okay, that type of a look. It opens a door in their mind. Supposedly, this is what people who say the things that I say. It's what they kind of look like. So they have a greater receptivity to hear what I'm saying because of the look. So, I don't know. I don't know if it'll make any difference or not, but I'm just saying I do find that for sure that the look does facilitate, receptivity. Let's put it that way. Kind of corny if you ask me, but people are that way. But once they get past that initial barrier, very often then they become immersed, and then it's been useful. You see, it's a quicker way to get to where we're going anyway, but it helps. So I don't know. People are very funny when it comes to queuing. You see, I mean, this is a particular queuing now that obviously has some effect in that regard. Now, I don't think it matters to you guys, but I'm also interacting with just people in general. So it's useful in that way.
For me, it is. You were like this from the
Yeah.
beginning for us. So for me, uh, changing something will be cool. Like okay, we are not bound with anything. We
Ah,
can
right.
like we can
Right, right.
experiment
Yeah.
whatever we want to.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. Oh, I'll see. Maybe I don't have a
Hmm.
convenient place to do it, but maybe when I'm at Lisa's, because it makes a big mess, when you do this, and I have to find my clippers. I don't know where they are too. That might be quite the challenge. Suppose I could go to go to a barber and just have them take it off, but that's possible. All right, now we'll see. We'll see. Since the door's been
Oh,
open,
yes.
you
Oh,
don't care.
yes.
You don't think one way or the other makes any difference, Donna?
Um, I see value in what you're saying about the presentation for your workshops, but that's, I don't know, it just feels kind of limiting if people
Oh,
can't see beyond long hair and a
well,
beard.
it helps them initially, to accept and be open to otherness. So it's useful, and it just, like I said, it makes the connectivity quicker. It'll come anyway, but it makes it quicker. Gives them comfort. Let me put it that way. It makes it gives it in a peculiar way. Initially, it gives an authority to what you say. Now, I don't want that. If you have any sensibility, don't be basing your authority on what people look like. But if it gets them to hear things as having value, then they start evaluating for themselves. Okay, yes, it's not appropriate to do that. But if it gets you started and then you do the appropriate evaluation in the end, okay, it gets you there. Whereas if you start and you're doubtful and you're questioning and it's like, I'm not sure and all this, then you're so stuck in a modality of doubt that you're unable to actually hear what's going on. You just kept saying, well, and questioning and doubting. And I see this happen in other situations, and then people cannot hear because they just get stuck in that doubt. Well, who are you to say this? And then they get nowhere. You have to set aside all of that and accept things as if they have value to start and be open to the possibility that they might have. That opens you up to being able to evaluate them as valuable. We can find fault with anything if we get into that mindset, but to actually evaluate things as valuable with a complete honest openness, this is invaluable and very precious mindset. Then we evaluate them more honestly and fairly, and we say, oh, am I getting usefulness and value out of this? Yes, I'm getting usefulness and value. Does it matter if the person's an authority or not? No, of course it matters not one iota. Does it matter what they are even saying is true or not? No, it matters nothing. Why? Because I'm getting value and usefulness. And this is a magical place to be in. Very, very, very magical. So, it's an interesting situation in terms of, like I said, strategic queuing and leveraging. So just looking at things from all possibilities, thinking them through to the end, and checking and making sure. So I don't like to just leave things. Since the idea came my way, it's like, maybe who knows? We'll see. We'll see. I like to get feedback. I like to get feedback and input. So, any more, Donna, before you go on that?
It's all
What do you feel
good.
personally? What do you feel personally? That's what I was curious to hear.
What do
Like
I feel
Donna, like
personally?
Beena has a preference to say, okay, just for the sake of change, it would be interesting, if I understand Beena correctly, right, Beena?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's a good,
Yes.
that's a good
Makes
reason,
sense.
Just if there's no reason one way or the other, okay, yeah, I'll just see what it would be like different. So, I don't know. Maybe Donna hates the long hair and the beard. I don't know. Donna doesn't say anything. You can say if you don't like it or you like it. Either way, Donna. I'm just curious here. How it connects to you personally. I am asking for personal perceptions. Donna, has she left us already? Oh, my Zoom closed. My internet dropped.
Yes.
Yeah. It does that over here sometimes. So I didn't hear if you said anything after I was asking about your personal opinion. I didn't hear, Donna.
Oh, I just said that there's no reason not to. Just try it for change's sake, and
All
it's
right,
just
all right.
hair.
So you feel like Beena, so okay.
It'll grow back if you don't.
Oh yeah,
Doesn't
exactly.
feel
And
right.
there's plenty fertilizer in it, makes it grow quickly. So
It'll be easier to maintain.
yeah, 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 yeah. I don't mind the maintenance actually. I always thought that it might, but it's not a big deal. I actually quite like combing the long hair. It's sort of soothing and some bit of a meditation in a way too. So, but yeah, it's definitely easier to maintain. Interesting. All right. If I find my clippers, if they're not buried somewhere, trying to think where they could possibly be. Then I have nice clippers that I've carried around with me for ages. So um, I do know where the little combs are. They're in an odd place, but the clippers. But if I find them, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. I mean, I've done it before. I have no problem doing it. It's really quite a nothing, So
All
I do
right.
It
like,
is good, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. I do like
I'm gonna head
shaking things
out.
up.
So
Okay.
hopefully you guys will
Mhm.
be on later.
Yes. Oh, we will be. We will be. We will be. Yes, we will be. We will be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, for sure. I mean, I'm not gonna. We're not gonna start the module 5 until you come back. So we'll wait for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah. Sure. No, we're just gonna talk about stuff. I don't know what, but we will.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we'll do a Facebook Live on one of those topics, Beena.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll
that'd
see.
be a good idea. That'd be a good idea. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
Donna.
All right, Donna. See you
See you
soon. See
soon.
you soon. See you
Yes.
soon. All right. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Mm.
Brilliant. Brilliant. All right, Beena. Which topic? I was thinking
Oh,
about those
yes.
topics. I was thinking about those topics.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have relearning on there?
Relearning, learning,
Yeah.
and oh, yes. No, no, we
We
don't have
don't.
that. No. And yesterday you said omission also.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have a connectivity to omissions, but there was
Mm-hmm.
something that I was thinking in terms of relearning and the mindset needed in order to avail oneself of of a particular opportunity in learning. When we encounter when we encounter more, just the more in terms of learning, particularly with other people, there's something in particular that needs to happen. So, all right, let's do this. Relearning and the mindset needed for learning and growing in a collaboration where there is not equivalency. Does that make sense? My topic, Beena? Beena? Oh, boo.
Oh no,
Oh,
I was
oh,
talking to you.
my.
I didn't know how it
I
was
didn't hear
muted.
you. I didn't hear you when I said about the topic. So.
Oh yes, and when you asked me, does it make sense? I said not really.
Oh,
It will be interesting.
okay, okay. All right. I'm just minimizing all my windows so that I forgot to do that. So there we go. When you minimize the windows, it helps for the connection issues. So
Hmm.
that is
Uh, from yesterday, uh, I'm having a mystery. I
oh,
don't know why things are happening in this way, but yes,
like what
uh,
kind of mystery?
somehow things are not things, but
Oh,
in kitchen, uh, like uh, like pots, bottles, just slipping out of my hand. And
wow.
yesterday I was from the saucepan. I was shifting the sauce and the chicken into a bowl so I can put it in the fridge. And it was just a simple thing. And somehow that saucepan just slipped out of my hand, and the curry and every sauce and everything just spilled on the counter. Okay,
Wow. Wow. I see. I think it's genius, Beena. I think it's genius. You're spending too much in the
okay.
kitchen, and your subconscious is making you kind of awkward there. And your mother's going to say, or the family, no, 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 Beena, just, this just, no, this is not good because you're making a mess over here and you're all clumsy and whatever. No, no, go do less.
Okay.
Good
Listen,
strategy.
today at lunch,
Mm.
I made a fish curry. Okay,
Wow.
and everybody loves that because my mother, my family even, they don't eat anyone else make fish curry, and just me and my auntie also. So I made a very like in large amount, and I said okay.
Wow.
And when the table is set, everything we were waiting for Farooq. That he also said that it's Friday, so he will come for lunch. So when he come, I said, "Oh, it's been too late. Like I was waiting for you. I'm feeling so hungry." He said, "Okay, yes." We were laughing, and when I put that wok, it was in the wok. Somehow that wok slipped, and it just fell on the floor of kitchen
Wow.
upside down.
Wow.
Upside down means nothing left to eat from that
Yeah.
wok.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Oh my
Brilliant.
God.
Genius, Beena.
I actually
Genius.
had tears in my eyes.
Oh man, Beena. Oh,
You
oh,
know, I
I
actually had
know.
tears in my eyes
I
because it
oh,
took me like very long time to just clean the
yeah.
fish and then make the curry and then everything was done and the whole kitchen was a mess. The cabinets, the floor, even on the fridge,
It's
on my
genius. I'm
clothes.
telling you, it's genius, Beena. It's genius. It's in an inadvertent way. It is drawing attention to the fact that you are spending a lot of time in the kitchen, a disproportionate amount of time.
But I can't do anything for that. Huh,
You can't, but others noticing might be able to.
I hope so.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Beena, don't be upset about it.
No, it was really
I
annoying
know, I know, I know,
because
but
it took another almost an hour
to clean it up. Yes.
to clean it up.
but but there's a genius to it. Always been when we look at things like this that are so anomalous, because it's not just a once in a blue moon thing, which okay, that happens. This is a bit of a pattern here. There's a logic to it. There's always a logic to these things.
Okay. It is anomalous because what happened? It was on top of the stove from where I just took that, and it was hot, so I took it with the help of this, not mittens, but the piece of cloth. Okay, I was just like napkin. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
my mother said that you might take the long one and the big napkin, so it might tangled up in the stove's hooks or something like that on
Uh,
the top of that. And I said, okay, if that happened, and she said you were in hurry, so okay, I was in. She was not saying that; she was actually consoling me, but just
oh,
trying to make sense of out of it.
yeah,
So she
yeah,
says,
yeah.
Beena, so you might be in hurry. I said, okay, and my sister was there, and yeah, Amy and Lubna,
Mm.
both were there. If that was the case, that work needs to be to slip or just go because I was in hurry and I'm taking it from my right to the left.
Ah,
So it needs to be on my left side. Yeah. Yeah, if you see the
yeah,
moment, so you can
yeah,
say that okay,
yeah, yeah.
if I'm in hurry and I'm
Yeah,
taking something in both my hands and so I'm just moving fast,
yeah,
so it
yeah.
means that it needs to be on my left. But that work actually fell just right there.
Oh,
And okay, and it doesn't need to be upside down.
no.
If it slipped out of my hand, it
Yeah,
must fall right.
Must fall
No,
right.
not
Yeah,
upside. Yeah.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. There's an anomaly and a genius at work. So use this and just refuse to cook. Just say I'm too emotionally upset and I want to go in the kitchen or whatever. You know what I mean? Just leverage it. Just don't cook, and they'll understand. Especially making something like that. Big long cooking thing. Say no, and they'll understand. They'll say no. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to ruin it and upset it for everybody. And see, use it, use it, Beena,
Okay.
use it,
I will try to. I will
use it.
say that.
Yeah, yeah. Or
This
just say,
it
no,
was
I don't want to. And then they will put it together. Which is true.
this was
Don't
something.
want to, and you also don't want to have a repeat of it happen. It's not like you're making it up.
Of
It's
course.
true. So just say that. Then they'll be like, okay, oh wow, all right, and then it makes them aware that the cooking has been a stressful thing for you,
Hmm.
and you can say that too. Say, the cooking has been stressful for me lately.
Yeah.
There you go. Use it, use
Hmm.
it, leverage it. It's a gift. It's a gift, Beena. It's a gift. All these things, anomalies like this, when we look a little closer, they are always gifts. So our impeccability demands we extract the gift.
Hmm.
The gift isn't always obvious. We have to extract it. We have to extract that more, and we have to insist on extracting the more.
Hmm.
That's our impeccability. Yes?
Hmm. Do you have anything other than that? This idea about that?
Oh, you mean about the anomalousness of it?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, my first thing came to mind was like, you said things were falling out of your hands, your grip.
Yeah.
So I thought, wow, I'm hoping that there isn't some motor dysfunction of some kind. Like my legs haven't been working properly because of the magnesium deficiency, and that is working, by
Hmm.
the way. So maybe some
Wow.
vitamin deficiency. It's not making your grip or whatever as appropriate.
Hmm.
But it doesn't sound like that's an issue. You know.
Hmm. Hmm.
But that was my first thought. So
Okay.
just something to look at. But also, it may just be that you are more tired than you realize, Beena.
Hmm. Oh.
When we are
Okay.
fatigued, yes,
Hmm.
we can have enthusiasm like during our interactions because this is something so potent. But
Yeah.
that enthusiasm can take us to, let's say, above our normal energy. Let's just say our normal
Hmm.
energy is 100, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
When we come into this and you fatigued, you coming up to 110, 150, whatever. But if you
Hmm.
had energy, your full energy, that enthusiasm would be like at 500.
Hmm.
But it can fool us because I'm energized, like in our interactions, I'm doing what I want to do, I'm at 150, it's more than my usual, but you still in the overall fatigue. But now when you come out of this interaction and you go and do normal things, because
Hmm.
you kind of pushing it extra, it comes lower,
Hmm.
and you don't notice it because you're still on that perception that you have energy, when actually on the overall, your general level of fatigue and stress is
Hmm.
actually there.
Hmm.
Like you just say earlier when you started, you were feeling sad yesterday?
Yes.
See, was this before or after the fish debacle?
No, it was before.
Yeah, that's what I suspected. You see, and when we have that sadness, that's typically an indication of low energy. Now we may have physical energy, but emotional or mental energy is a different thing, or spiritual energy. So and all the stress and the sleep disruptions, yes, you can survive it in the short term and be okay, but longer
Hmm.
term it does have an effect. You know, I see
Hmm.
it on myself
Hmm.
too. Just with the sleeping, how it really affects me in a big way. So, I make an effort to remedy it. It's not always easy, but it's something to be aware of, particularly for us, Bina. We have
Hmm.
higher than normal energy, right?
Yeah.
So we can do a lot on low energy. Also, We have the ability to self leverage and to motivate ourselves and to act because of impeccability, to do stuff. But this is us leveraging our energy. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So be aware of this. I mean, to me, it's an energy issue. I just kind of
Mm.
thought of something. Yeah. Aha, aha, aha. You see what I'm doing? Now my head
Mm.
is straight, but I made the glasses at an angle so they don't reflect. So now I can see.
Yes,
You
and
see?
I can see your
Genius,
eyes. Yes.
genius, and you can see my eyes. Genius.
Mm.
I like it. I like it. When we do genius things, we have to appreciate our own genius and
Mm.
emphasize it and say okay, and then you do more of it.
Mm. Wow.
So, yeah, you have to say genius to
Okay.
ourselves when it's genius. Like the thing with omens, that was a genius swing too.
Wow. Yes,
Wow.
it is genius.
No.
Yes,
And I do
absolutely, it
I
is genius.
yeah I'm making an effort to maintain an awareness, to keep paying attention to that. I didn't this morning when I woke up because I was kind of in a hurry, and I woke up early. I wasn't sure what time it was. I kept looking through the window because it was kind of an open window. It's dark outside, looking to see if I can
Hmm.
see some change in the sky. And when I did get up, it was a good time. It was 5:15, so it was good timing. So then
Hmm.
I got here early, and then nobody was here, but that's okay.
Wait, I
I'm
really
just
don't
teasing
know
you.
because I got your message.
Yeah, it's okay.
When
I'll
I
just
got
tease you a
your
little bit.
message, I was I was in between posting something. Yes,
I had
I
a
was
long
posting something.
message to respond to anyway, so
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good. So.
Okay, Rachel tagged me in a post.
Brilliant.
You made a comment on that.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Her her
Oh,
trans
yeah,
woman.
yeah. I did that drawing doesn't look very trans to me at all. It just looks like a female figure. I don't
Yes,
really
for
see
me
any
for me
trans
too.
there, but it doesn't
Yes.
matter. It's in her mind, so it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, it
Actually,
matters
I
to her.
suggested that.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah. I,
suggested
I
that
remember. I
to her.
remember. It was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I remember her
because
mentioning it. Yeah.
I
Very
feel
cool.
that maybe if she start doing that, uh, uh, maybe sooner or later she will get some real ideas about herself.
She likes being trans. She said so. It came out very, very specifically, in a very, very deliberate way. That she doesn't actually want to be a woman. Yes, she identifies as a woman. She goes by Rachel, but she likes being a trans woman. She
Because she
likes.
cannot be a woman.
Right. Well, in her mind, she can be. She can have the operation. If she really commits to this, she actually can go and have the full operation and do all that. Right.
No, but she said. I think that doctors said that she cannot be a woman even after surgery.
Why not?
I don't know, some medical reasons.
Oh, well, either way, it didn't matter. Those are just gifts from the universe. She likes being in the state of ambiguity and having it either way. It appeals to her to not be defined because, she so identifies with the gods and all of that stuff. And I said to her, look, as far as I'm concerned, you were one of them and you've come back to this earth to relearn all of this stuff because all the gods, they have a lot of cockeyed ideas and you solve your problems with violence and god knows what all. I mean, they have a bunch of ridiculous freaking ideas, so you have to relearn it. But in reality of the gods, like Allah, they don't have gender. Yes, people perceive them in one way or the other, but they can take both forms. And this is, I believe, why this is an appeal to her because it's so deep in her, that logic. I don't know. To me, it's like she's a reincarnation of them, or coming back into Earth as them, or something. I don't know. It just seems so deep in her. But I do that trans identity. It's a big deal for her. So the fact that if there's some medical reason why she can't, it's a gift for her. It just helps her make up her mind. But we spoke
Mhm.
about it, and it just came out in her language. And I said, "Did you hear what you just said?" Rachel. I pointed out where she's by implication saying it, or saying it and not realizing what she's saying, and she's like, oh, yeah. And then she, she acknowledged that yes, she likes being trans. It appeals to her. So that's very interesting. So
I guess that
she's pretty at peace with the whole thing
it,
now, so it's pretty good. Yeah. It's just
okay. So what about?
learning to communicate it, which is a different thing. Yeah. I don't know.
You know what?
It's already 7:24. I don't know if Donna will quite be here in a half an hour's time, but I'm not quite sure. I'm kind of keen to do the Facebook Live now. The energy went a little bit for that.
Okay. Okay.
We can, if you really want to. Do you have
No.
a particular topic
If the
that's
energy is not
burning
right,
for you? Well, it can come back if you have an interest in it. Earnestness always leverages me.
no problem. Just be with attunement, because you know what? When you said shared that, okay, how about having short beard or no beard or a short hair? It is actually showing that you are in perfect sync with the universe itself, because you know that it is the time of change,
Hmm.
death and rebirth. So when a person feels and he or she acknowledge that, it means that they are in sync.
Interesting.
This particular look you have was deliberate, and kind of, yes, still, uh, though you don't have any specific idea about any personality, but still, for so long, it was your identity. It still
Yeah.
is.
Not for very long,
So,
though. I mean, it may seem long to you, but to me, not. It's a recent thing as far as I'm concerned.
well, how long it was?
Like 3 years, maybe. But in my mind, it seems recent. I know 3 years is a long time, but from my perception, it feels recent. It's a new thing to me. It's not. I'm.
Wow. Okay. So anyway, so for me, like, okay, I saw you like this. But if you are feeling that, and if you have this idea, it means that you are actually in sync with the
Well,
universe and timings.
it came about from the boy. The boy who said with his list, Casey is his name.
Yes, yes.
All right. So he came and said that. Then I mentioned the story to Lisa, and then Lisa said, "Oh, she asked Casey's parents. I don't know why she asked. It seems a little peculiar to me, the question,
Mhm.
and unstrategic, the question also, if you ask me. I'll repeat it for you in a minute here. Let me just get to it. Okay, let's get here to where she said this. Okay, so she says she wants me to clean her grills. P.S. We asked Casey's parents how the rentals have been going, and they said something like pretty good, except for a creepy-looking hairy guy in a van.
Oh,
We told them that we know you and not to worry. Then they apologized. So even though now they know that, we recommend you keep low-key as possible. Don't engage Casey, and if he engages you, try not to draw out the conversation. Yeah, small-minded shit, but anyway.
oh.
I was low-key. I came, unloaded my stuff, and I stayed in the house, and when the first boy came, remember I told you? Some boy asked, "Oh, where's the guy who lives here?" I was very low-key about it. So
Hmm. Oh.
I'm sure you are working on it, but seems living mostly in your van and standing out in appearance in the way that you do draws attention and could be a vulnerability. It's like, seriously, really. But I do understand a little bit more now, you see. I mean, I was very curious as what motivated Casey, and now I do see what it is. he probably heard his parents say something like that. And being a kid, and being closer there on the street and having a more direct observation of me, and it may even have been him that I spoke to the first time, that he knew this wasn't true. And he saw that his parents' perception is totally irrational and illogical and crappy and, unfair. So him making that list was him saying to me, no, you're not a creepy looking guy or whatever. My parents are wrong in this. He's apologizing for them in a roundabout way.
Oh,
But Lisa too, it's just the small mindedness. It's a bit perturbing. Because she says, oh, also just for your information, our neighbor on the other side of us, same side south, is a cop. We don't really know them or talk to them much. It wouldn't be good if you got curious and decided to run your plates and check up on you. Why? Why do you assume it wouldn't be good? So, I said, no, the cop is no problem. Other day, the cops came and they ran my plates and they just get the company name. And, my stuff is quite okay for the cops. So, I said, in other words, it irritates me, this kind of focus, because it is a negative attention that is based on nothing. If you are now concerned, you're actually aggravating things rather than helping them. You see my point?
hmm.
Well, you could be. And I nullified it and made it good, So then she was all fine with that. And then she just shifted to getting her grills clean. But it's like, oh, seriously. But anyway, it resolved the mystery of Casey, for me at least. His motivation now makes sense. Remember when I said there's some need involved? And that was the need. The need was to fix the imbalance that came from his parents, which is pretty cool. Yeah, interesting. But it still made me think, okay, their perception is completely irrational and idiotic. I'm creepy because I got long hair. What the fuck? I mean, seriously, it's just like amazing to me. But some people do think that way. And then I thought, now, okay, if I didn't have long hair, would I still be creepy? What on earth could I possibly have done that would make me look creepy? Does it make any sense? Hey, Evan, it just makes no sense whatsoever. So I thought, if just purely long hair, they didn't say long hair and a beard. They just said long hair because I had the you know the long the dreadlock parts of the beards, the plaits. Those I had inside my vest when I came there. I didn't have them out, so they didn't see those. So it's just the long hair. But I don't know. It's just so it's too anomalous, Beena. And it makes no sense. So maybe I thought, well, maybe it's the universe telling me to cut the hair. I don't know. Just
Okay.
it's a small thing, but okay, because it's odd. The fact that they would see me as creepy because of the long hair. Long hair is not an uncommon thing. There's plenty guys around that have long hair. And even in Cottonwood, which is a little bit more conservative, there's a lot of guys who have that kind of cowboy look vibe thing going on. And this is they have long hair, so or long hair like mine, down to their shoulders. It's not uncommon in the least. So yeah.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is it's
Even
peculiar. It's peculiar.
okay. Set this thing aside. What they said and what they're thinking, and what Lisa is saying,
Yeah.
because yes, she is helping. She is a good friend, but still, it doesn't mean that anyone can be directly say something about your personal stuff. Okay. Anyway, set these things aside and see. Okay, if you are thinking something like this by your own, okay, yes, okay, I can do that. So just think about what you feel,
Well, I had an
not
email.
for others,
Yeah.
what they
Well, it's
think,
another
what they
thing.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not completely in isolation. Where's my email now? One of the course participants, no, not course, workshop participants. It was again an anomaly. So this is actually now that I remember, this is actually the second thing. Um, she sent an email, or at least I received an email, which I had sent her. She came with two other ladies. There were three of them, and and I had just responded, follow up email, and then she replied to that email, not realizing she's also applying to me because it comes from Sil and Olivia, but well, to me and Olivia, both of us. And in there, I have to find this email. And it's quite amusing. Let's see. Let's see. Is this her now? Okay. So, so I had followed up because sometimes I recorded the workshops, and then I would upload them the way I do for our things, and then I send them the links, the YouTube links, right? So she let me do share screen here.
Okay.
So she responded to this email, not thinking. She just
Mm-hmm.
did reply, and it obviously went to reply all. So I mean, totally stupid, in the way she's doing it. But she says, "Oh my God, I'm laughing hysterically looking at these." She's talking about the videos, especially the first one where I talk about having an open mind without judgment. That was completely me trying to convince myself that I wasn't a sucker for paying to be sit in the living room of this guy who looks like a freak show. And the weird. By the way, I discovered that he has other videos on the web and on a Facebook page too, in case you ever want to see him live and straight in the face. So I don't know who all she's sending this to. Let me see if I can see. But she's only sending it to us. You see? You see there? It says
Mm.
two. So
Mm.
she messed up here, but I'm assuming she's meaning to send it to the two other ladies, and you
Mm.
see Jeanette, Pam, and Lisa. So there's a follow up to this. So I was quite intrigued by this, but I mean, they had a good workshop and they left good reviews. So okay, for all that, it just fascinated me. So I replied to that email, and I said to her, you see, yeah, I said, haha, lol, yeah. He does have interesting stuff to say though, if one can set aside the looks. And she said, and then she responded to that and said, completely agreed. Isn't that fascinating, Tina? Yeah.
Mm.
So, okay, obviously the looks is a
Confusing.
thing for
You were
some. I
dropping?
think I say again.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dropping. Okay. So did you hear the part where I said back to her the reply?
No, no.
Oh. So after she said that, I responded to her thing and I said, haha, lol. Yeah, he does have interesting stuff to say though, if one can set aside the looks. Tonguey face, laughy face. And then
Yeah.
she responded to
Uh-huh.
that by saying completely agreed. So, some people like the look. I guess some don't.
Was she
But
drunk?
yeah, she could have been. She could have been drunk. That's interesting that you say that. That's quite possible. And what was fascinated me to her is that, of the three women, she was, um, let's just put it this way, physically, she's not one to talk about looks. It's fascinating. People are oblivious, but that's my point. I don't want to be oblivious. Yes, I know some people like the look, and they tell me so. Um, but of course, not everybody. But now with the short hair, there's not this range of extremes. You know, so I don't know. I'll try it
Mm.
and see. I got nothing to lose. You know.
Sir,
Yeah.
will you please let me read that email again?
Oh, all right. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. So the first one that you know, I said Hi, Jeanette Feminista. We had a blast doing the workshop with you. Was most awesome. I'm going one further back now. The original email.
Mhm.
We hope it was of value to you also. Here are the links for the bridge to the workshop. Too long for one. The links are unlisted. I'm hearing myself, Beena. The links are
Okay.
unlisted and thus completely private, and they can only be accessed by the links because the grids are so large that it's the only practical way to share them. Okay. So this was to the three of them, right? Um, and then
Yes.
she responds from her iPhone, and she says, "Oh my God, I'm laughing hysterically looking at these, especially the first one where I talk about having an open mind without judgment." So she actually watched the video, right? That was completely me trying to convince myself that I wasn't a sucker for paying to be sit in the living room of this guy who looks like a freak show. By the way, I discovered that he has other videos on the web and on a Facebook page too, in case you ever want to see him live and straight in the face. So she must have thought she's sending this to other people beside the two women who were there because they were in the living room with me. But I think she means on the video because in that video it only shows me from behind. I just happen
Mm.
to be sitting with my back to the camera, so that may be that.
Mm.
She want to that they can see me on a video looking at the camera. Okay,
Mm.
so I responded to that and I said, haha, lol, yeah. He does have interesting stuff to say though, if one can set aside the looks. I was just responding to out of curiosity to see
Mhm.
what she would do in this. It's just an interesting
Mm.
comment here. So, and then she responded, she said, completely agreed and no more. So,
So what she is okay. Just set aside this looks comment.
yeah,
What she was trying to say that what she was doing here there at that time.
yeah, yeah. At
What
that
she was
time,
doing.
yeah. So in the start of the workshop, she was feeling that, oh my God, I've wasted my money. I'm in this living room. What am I doing? She had doubt. But then, of course, by the end of it, that was all erased. But she was commenting on, she was, amused at herself and at the situation because she's talking about having an open mind, but yet she wasn't open minded, right? That's what she's saying. That she was being a hypocrite, in other words. And in the beginning of the workshop, at the end, I mean, she even hugged me. I didn't initiate the hug. I don't care for hugs much. People I don't know. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just interesting. So again, anomalous. So okay, if I put that and then this thing with Casey's parents together, all right. Maybe I should just take the clue. And yes,
Mm-hmm.
I do get lots of positive comments on the look. And I do know it does leverage some people, but it might it might not be worthwhile, for if you're getting that kind of reactivity, on balance, it might not be worthwhile. And the
Mm-hmm.
fact that that email came to us so anomalously, it's anomaly. So I have to pay attention to it. So it's been in the back of my mind. So I guess since it's two of them now, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
Ow, ow, ow. Boom. It's my arm now. I
Mm.
was just
I'm,
sitting
I'm,
on it
I'm just
awkwardly.
thinking about that. How they were saying that, and at the end of the workshop, and what she's saying now.
Well, it's just the one woman. She's thinking to reply to her friends, obviously. But then she ended up just sending it to us. So when I said he, she could have assumed that was Olivia saying it.
Mm.
Or she was so clueless that she just assumed it's one of her friends saying it. I don't know. I mean, seems like her. I don't know, or maybe she realized, oh my God, I goofed, but she just. I allowed her to save face. In other words, I specifically set it up that way in my response, to give her an out, and so it's interesting though. Like I said, I do believe they left good reviews. I don't remember, or maybe they didn't leave any at all. I don't know. It's possible, but they left. Oh, dang it. How you doing, Evan? You good? You good? Oh, you going there?
It's not really an island.
I've been there. It's a peninsula.
Yeah, we rode a lot of waves there as a kid, you know, the whole body surf thing. I just remember the tumble, like getting sandburns, you know. Yeah, like scared. Like you're scared, you know, as a
Are you going back there now? Is that what you're saying?
8 or 10-year-old, you know.
But you're going back there now? No?
Just reminiscing because I'm reading something about.
I see. Oh, I see. All right. So, okay. If my friend comes back on, I'm putting
You
my
got waves
camera.
like that in South Africa?
Oh hell yeah! South Africa is one of the best places for waves in the whole world.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. We have two different oceans as well.
You don't hear about the surf city and you know like you do.
You used to, remember when Sean Thompson was surfing
No,
champion?
I'm not. I mean, like I don't know. You know, like I just have this image of
It is.
surfing between Australia and Hawaii, but there's many places, and
South Africa is
one of them.
definitely one of them. I very much like Australia and Hawaii. It's one of the destination spots. Look up Jeffreys Bay.
Jeffreys Bay.
Jeffreys Bay, South Africa. It's one of like the for tubes. It's a well-known premier spot for surfing. But yeah, the whole coastline. South Africa. So yeah, big deal. Yeah, I'm gonna get some more coffee.
Tony ultimate shot again yesterday. How about my shot on 3 where I hit the chains from? How long away? That was, yeah. No, it was. Tried to get creative with my girlfriend last night. She's all like, I said, hey, come on, man. In honor of Kobe.
Hello.
All right. Okay. I hope you understood my plot here, Beena.
Yeah, I was looking at you.
Yeah, yeah. I figured, well, you know what, let me go get some coffee because mine was kind of flagging, lagging, and slagging a little bit there. So I figured, let me show you what's going on while I do it, and you'll know where I'm at as well. So
Oh yes,
good strategy, all
I
right?
saw you coming. Yes, I saw you coming back also. So that's why I said, "Oh, hello, hello," and then you were not here. I said, "Okay, now I will call."
Do you have a bit of a cold, Beena?
Yes.
Oh, 1 second. My broken headset.
Yes.
It because the headset is broken. It doesn't sit nicely on my head. It just kind of hangs there. So it's a bit of a balance
Mm-hmm.
operation. Not exactly
Mm-hmm.
ideal. But what can you do?
Mm-hmm.
What can you do? All right.
The first time uh, in our like we are. It's been a year almost now. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
since we are friends. And the first time, I'm actually looking at you. How other people are commenting on that.
Ah, this is fantastic. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
thought,
That's a
I
good
don't know,
it's a good
people
exercise,
even
Bina. It is a
feel
good
that.
exercise. It is a good exercise because your perceptions of me are very different. So what do you see when you look through other people's eyes? So what is Amy and your mom and Lubna see? I don't know if Lubna see me or not.
Oh yes, everybody, they know you.
And what do they see?
They never actually say anything about that. Never.
Oh,
Still, that's it.
yeah, oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good. Well, maybe in that part of the world, people who look more like me are a bit more common. Maybe I don't know.
No, it's not about. I don't know how people see other people. Oh,
Yeah,
strange.
I don't know either. I
Because
don't
for
I don't
me,
I, I don't
okay,
see people in that.
I was trying to.
You were what? Sorry, we ended up speaking over each other. But sorry, Bina. Say again.
No, I was actually trying to look at you like, okay, now what about the visually? If I look at you, yes, it is anomalous that you have this long beard,
Yeah.
but here, no, it is very common
Hmm.
and nothing weird at all.
Yeah. Well,
Why?
but with the headphones on, I don't think you quite see the hair as much.
Yeah,
So
yes, oh, yes. Oh, yes, now I can see.
I'm not hearing you, Bina, because I have the headsets are too far.
Uh-huh. Now
So
I
that
can see. I
that
can see you here.
yeah, that would be what most people see. That would be the look. Well, okay, and sometimes the beard is out. Right now I when I have the vest on, sometimes I just leave it inside. You on mute.
Anyway.
You're on mute. So
Oh, no, because I'm sneezing.
right, right, right. Mm,
Okay. Anyway,
okay.
uh,
So when you
still,
look at it
I
from,
was.
I quite like the long hair. I must say, I enjoy it.
Hmm. Okay, but if you enjoy it, you don't need to change it, but yes, being appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay, if you feel
Well,
that it
exactly.
is appropriate to do that,
And living in attunement. So yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So there is a logic to it. So I'll just do it. I've sort of already decided. I guess if I put those two things together, I'm reluctant to do it because I do like the long hair. I enjoy it. I really
Mhm.
do. I enjoy even the combing of it, which surprises me. It's a kind of a meditation. I like running my hair. But then when I was doing that now, I don't know. It's very soothing. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, you are not your hair, you are not your
No,
beard.
no, I know, I know.
So okay,
I know. It's just my own personal preference right now is for them. But
yes.
when it comes to attunement, personal preference is not. So okay. The first time was just one anomaly. I don't pay too much attention to it. I did, and I considered it then too. I said, okay, it's one person.
Uh,
Eh, no matter what you do, if I have the short hair, she might have made the comment just concerning my teeth, for instance. I don't know. So some things I can't avoid.
oh,
Even if I just look normal, sometimes people look at you and say, "Oh, I don't know." They just have an adverse reaction to because of an association and somebody in their past. I don't know. There's all sorts of reasons why people, they don't respond rationally to appearance sometimes. So I couldn't put too much into it. But the way it came was anomalous. But the second one now, they're both anomalous. And and with Casey coming and correcting it, I know it isn't an issue from an actual like a vulnerability point of view but it can be from a perception point of view. So on balance, all right, I'll just get rid of it and see how it goes. Maybe I just grow it out again. All right. Yeah. I mean, I do enjoy letting it grow. It's kind of fun.
hmm.
By the way, quickly, and I remembered the cold thing and the sadness and the low energy all combines together.
Okay, okay.
They're all part of the same pattern of overall energy being low. Yes, we have
Okay.
the ability to self motivate, and we are doing so. But our
Yeah.
ability to self motivate, it can disguise our our general overall energy level. So the sadness and the cold are an indicator, like mine was. I wasn't sleeping properly. I got the cold. So it's very simple, very direct.
Okay, okay. It makes
No.
sense. It makes
Also,
sense.
also, now that you have the cold, just for like the rest of your day tomorrow, just stay in bed. That's it. Break the pattern. Just say, I'm sorry, I got a
Mm-hmm.
cold and I don't want to get up and I need to rest, and that's it. I'm not feeling well. Okay, that's it. You. Plus, you don't want to be in the kitchen with the cold and spread it, but you know, just take the opportunity to not leave your room for the entire day. Just stay in bed the whole day. End of story. For 2 days, even if it need be. Break the pattern. Use this because now you have that the accident or the couple of them plus the cold you know plus and then you also say you add the emphasis that you don't want to be doing it right now again, so use it
Okay,
all
I'll
use it all
try.
use it all use it all. Yeah, I mean, if you stayed in bed, would that be a big deal? Wondering if
Access is good. Library's good.
yeah,
Starbucks is not good.
it doesn't matter where you sit. Okay.
They don't want people. They want people to keep moving.
Yeah, yeah.
Go library.
I didn't notice it so much other places. I'm wondering if it's this spot maybe.
Yeah, Bash's is kind of a rough spot to sit.
What about Safeway?
Safeway is kind of a Safeway spot, not really a public spot.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I've never been there. So, when I leave here, I usually go to the gathering place. That's
And the
nice.
library doesn't really work for what you do.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah,
a quiet place.
yeah, yeah. Well, I can speak quietly, so quieter than this.
Everybody
Yeah.
sits next to you. It's
Yeah.
not really.
No, no, I realize that. But I find that spot where we sit over there, there's usually no one there, so it works out. But I don't go there very often to the library, very seldom. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's really, really, really. It's really
Interesting.
hard to find a good
Yeah,
business spot to do your own business.
At the gathering place, pretty good. Yeah. Well, for me, it works out pretty good. You don't care for it there? I just ignore the people and stuff, but they leave me be. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully it's temporary. Hopefully it's temporary, Evan. That's the thing. To be temporary. What can you do? What can you do? And is it on me to educate you? Why is it my responsibility? Why is it not you?
On the internet, oftentimes 5 minutes of your life will show up on the internet,
Yeah.
and it makes an identity out of you when it's nothing but 5 minutes of your life.
Yeah. Interesting.
You know?
Interesting thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you.
You got the 30 years I've been watching this person is his life,
Yeah.
I'm looking for it, and all I see is 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to take that stuff with a grain of salt. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, yeah. I'm making a mess here.
Sometimes the 5 minutes has a huge impact.
Yeah.
But
Oh, sorry. I'm dropping everything. Hey. This glass is dropped. My mouse dropped everything. Hey Tyler, do you have any experience with Android phones? Mine just died. It won't come back on again. You know. Oh, there it's coming now. Never mind. Oh, can't come on. Can't. Hey Tyler.
Oh, it's been so nice out lately. Yeah, it was really nice.
Supposed to get
Like
kind
it
of,
was over 40 degrees.
yeah, supposed to be 66 tomorrow. After that's supposed to get cold for a couple nights.
Is there a cold front coming? Is that what they said?
After it gets warm there. So.
All right. Okay.
Monday night they're expecting snow.
Excellent. Excellent. I love the snow, man. Love the snow.
Yeah, it looks like Monday through Wednesday are supposed to be cold. I missed the snow here last time. But not I decided to move here.
Oh wow.
I've been traveling around for like 3 years. I
Oh,
think this is where I'm
that's a good spot. That's exciting, man.
I'm like kind of looking for somewhere to live, but not really some work. But
Yeah.
the right thing pops up, but like I decided.
You open to it. You're open to possibilities, to opportunities.
Yeah, I've been looking casually for somewhere I really want to live for a long time.
It is. It is. It's a very cool spot there.
The whole valley is interesting. It's not just I mean, a lot of people say just to move, they don't experience the rest of this valley.
So I think guys, we've been going out by like west. Portland's still like there's nobody out there.
Yeah, this is a great water spot, this creek, but there's also Sycamore, you know, 10 miles, 5 miles up Cottonwood, is the Verde River's source. Sycamore.
You like water sports on?
No, I mean, I like water sources that are, that are spring fed, and then there's Clear Creek in Camp Verde, and it's a great spot too. Beaver Creek is a great spot. There's really four water sources. But hopefully they don't build anymore because, like they say the Verde River just got eaten up. by Prescott. I can't understand how that happened. I think it did. Like there used to be a lot more water. Not very. Prescott somehow captured.
It does. It does have a right.
Prescott, yeah, Prescott had a little, scenic lake spot. I've never been drawn to be a Prescott, like Flagstaff. Flagstaff, something about the peaks up there.
That reminds me of my hometown.
Oh, really? Where are you from? I fish with a lot of guys from yeah, Everett.
He's up in Bristol Bay.